Well, I guess when it rains, it pours because former Real Housewives of Atlanta star NeNe Leakes was just hit with a five-figure tax debt that she allegedly owes. Doesn't look like she's coming back to Atlanta anytime soon. We need to talk about this. All right, what's up, everyone? Okay, so it just keeps coming out one after the other, it feels like today. But more recently, I did talk about on my podcast how Jen Pendrati from Real Housewives of Orange County owes 100 and I believe $30,000 to her landlord for her yoga studio. And now it seems that NeNe Leakes is also being hit with a five-figure tax debt that she allegedly owes. So let's get into what's going on. Now, Radar Online initially posted about this, but Love B. Scott has covered it as well. So it says, according to the document obtained by Radar Online, the reality star initially owed $17,785.22 in taxes for various years. Now, because time had passed, that debt, obviously got larger with interest and fees. You know how they do at the IRS. They don't play around with their money. It says the document listed NeNe's name and her LLC, the Linnethia LLC, which appears to be connected to her now closed lounge in Georgia. You guys remember she had her Linnethia lounge, but it has since closed. And it says the tax issues comes weeks after NeNe was already ordered to pay $25,000 in a lawsuit brought by the former landlord of her since shuttered Swagg Boutique. You guys remember Swagg Boutique. There was actually one here in the DMV at the MGM casino. And I did report on how one day the employee showed up and the store had completely been cleared out and no one allegedly knew that the store was closing. So I guess she packed up in the middle of the night and just dipped out. But I guess when she did that, she still owed rent for the premises because it says the landlord claimed the Bravo star signed a lease in 2017 and extended it by a year in 2021. It says NeNe vacated the premises in January of 2022, but failed to pay $22,000 owed in unpaid rent. NeNe was also served with legal paperwork on August 16th of 2023 while outside of her $1 million condo in Atlanta. The reality star said she was not responsible for the rent owned. The reality star said she was not responsible for the rent owed because her husband Gregg was the one that signed the lease. So technically speaking, if he signed the lease, he's ultimately responsible for it, but he has since passed. So I guess she thought that she could just move on from it. Now, Gregg died, unfortunately, on September 1st. He was 66 years old. He was battling a long stint with cancer, but despite being served, NeNe's, I guess, fault in all this was that she never responded to the lawsuit, meaning like she could have, I guess, responded saying that she wasn't responsible for this debt because Gregg was the name on the lease. But because she didn't respond to the suit, the judge has now ordered her to pay $22,000 in unpaid rent, $2,315 in attorney fees, and another $400 in court costs. Yikes. Okay. Last year, NeNe was also hit with a lawsuit by a company named Photography by Ace. The suit said NeNe hired their photographer to take photos of the Linnethia lounge, but failed to pay invoices submitted. A judge granted the company a default judgment. On top of her financial issues, NeNe had to deal with her son, Bryson Bryant, being arrested for possession of fentanyl last year. You guys remember that. I also feel like we've kind of been inching around this conversation. NeNe, money problems. There was some rumblings back when her husband had just passed and she was quickly trying to sell her home. People were chattering about whether it was due to lack of finances and her cash flow may not have been where it once was. So she needed to quickly let go of some assets. But I've also seen a lot of chatter because, as we also know, she took a job with Zeus Network hosting the Baddies reunion. I believe it was the Baddies. But a lot of people were wondering, why would she go on Zeus? But here's the thing. If all of these things are, happening and some of them are true, maybe she needs that check. And it might be that Zeus was able to pay up, because I'm pretty sure whatever they offered her was enough for her to sign on and say yes. Now, as far as the Real Housewives of Atlanta goes, guys, I know a lot of you guys are really hopeful that she'll make her return, but I can't see it happening, not after all of these issues. As much as she would probably be able to use a check from Atlanta right now, it doesn't seem that that's in the works. I think there's a lot of rumors also that someone on her team, I'm not saying NeNe, but that someone or some people on her team may have been putting out the rumor that she was being approached by Bravo to come back to Atlanta, to try to maybe see if Bravo would then see that and be like, oh gosh, let's go after her. But it doesn't seem to be the case. I haven't heard any updates on that specifically. So I guess we'll sit tight and wait. Who knows? I mean, it's not to say that they would not bring her back, but I can't imagine with all of this stuff going on that she would even want to come back, honestly, because this is a lot. And I'm pretty sure if she did come back, they would just be throwing all of these things in her face. We know how the housewives like to dig into finances. It's a big topic of discussion on a lot of franchises. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, last week I talked about Jennifer Pendranti, who's filming her second season of Orange County. She has her own lawsuit that she has going on with her landlord for her yoga studio. So I don't know what you guys think about this. Does this mean that NeNe has got serious financial issues, or does she just simply have the wrong people managing her stuff? Because I can't imagine whoever's managing her books or on her team wouldn't speak up and be like, hi, we need to deal with this before it blows up, unless they're just a bunch of yes men and they don't want to, have any sort of confrontation. But this is part of your job. If you're on the team, you're supposed to keep people straight and narrow. Otherwise, she should just be on her own, right? But as always, guys, please let me know what you think of this down below. Shout out to Radar Online and shout out to Love B. Scott, where I went through the news on this with you guys. And make sure to like and subscribe, guys, because I'm going to be doing more news updates on all your Bravo Lebs every single day on this channel. And I don't want you to miss out when I upload. So make sure you also hit that notification bell. And yeah, I will keep you guys posted on any updates regarding this story. And until the next video, you guys, I will talk to you on the next one.